ladies and gentlemen out there in social media world, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Chronic Chris from AsgardRadio.com.org. All of the great stuff, Harwood Entertainment, Harwood Media. With me today, as always, is Slider, Allison from Roses Unread, and Jed, bass player for Roses Unread. And if you caught my video earlier, I mucked up and had to discontinue the live stream. We already watched Brand New Me, and I love the song, and I love the concept of the video. We were just talking a moment ago. Allison mentioned something because I want to know who's playing piano in there.
That was well, our producer at the time, he wrote that. So yeah, that was like a little sample he put in there.
Oh, okay. Because Allison said she's taking piano lessons.
Yeah, I'm taking piano lessons, not that great, but I have done like some synth samples and things like that, but not to like the level I want to be. So that's why I'm taking the lessons because I want to be to that level where I can do those things.
Okay.
So the concept of the video is outstanding. I love the whole placement of it, walking down the path and everything. Whose idea was that for this song?
John actually had the idea for me to be walking and each scene changing with different outfits because we'd never really done anything like that before. And I think like the only other video was Fireflies. It was just me. And just trust me, we're going to get away from that. So just it's not going to be all me all the time because I'm like,
oh no, it makes
I
it's
actually
easier
miss
for
the
me. I don't
guys.
have to wake up
I
early
miss
for
the
video
guys
shoots.
being in there. Like I'm like, I want them in there. But with this one, it felt more vocally, lyrically personal, and it just fit that it was, it would just have me because that song's like a very self-reflective song for me anyway, and it's really about like your past and you make it you make these mistakes and you try to be a better person, but you still have that like aura, I guess, lingering around you, where you kind of, you're still kind of haunted by all those things that you wish you could take back and you wish you could change, but you can't. And all you can do is, try to be a better version of, where you left yourself, the days before. And that's all anybody can do. So, just it's just maybe like a forgiveness to yourself song, because like it's easy for you, forgive somebody else, but I feel personally it's harder to forgive yourself sometimes for things. And so John was like, yes, this video needs to be just totally you. It was very low budget. He actually filmed it. He has a photographer on the side. So he knows all about color grade and, just the way things work because of his photography. And, he photographs like models everywhere. So he's been doing this for what, Jed, like 2 years, maybe?
Yeah,
I
he's
guess.
he's come along. He's great. He's amazing at what he does.
So he's kind of got his hands on a lot. So he did the video, did all the color grading for it. He edited all, and like it turned out great. Like for what it was and what it needed to be, it turned out just what we needed.
It is. It's a wonderful video. It's perfect for the song. Yeah, the visual is fantastic.
And we appreciate that because
and
it's different when somebody else does it.
Everybody has their own interpretation of stuff, and I saw it as walking down many different roads because you're going down a different path each time,
Exactly.
wearing a different outfit, constant change, going down many roads and getting to where you are now.
That's exactly right.
10 years ago, 15 years ago, if you asked me what I wanted to go back and change, I would have said a lot of things. Today, I'm going to say if you ask me if I could go back and change anything, I'll say nothing because it led me to where I am today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm glad you got that message out of it, because that makes it even more of a positive thing, and how I thought of it is like forgiving myself. You saw it, you saw it as what you did. So I feel like that's really cool that it's like the same concept, but it's totally different in the same way,
Yeah. And I mean, Chris and we have a weekly meeting and we talk about videos and we talk about songs and stuff that we get every week. And he just told me, he said, take a break from the emails. You're killing me. Because all I do, I only get like 1 or 2 days off a week from my
Yeah.
and I'll sit here for 45 minutes just downloading songs and sending them to the DJs, downloading, sending them out. So their emails are blowing up all the time.
I'm trying to get ready to do this, and all of a sudden my
Right.
email goes ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding.
So,
You heard my text message. Hey, yeah, and that was John, by the way, my husband, guitar player. And, he was like, you want something to eat? And I'm like, I can't really, because my laptop was being stupid, so I'd use my phone. I'm like, I can't really text you right now, but it's okay.
And tell John, as always, guitar work on that was just, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my favorite part of the whole song is the second verse when it goes into that groove. But I also love how the first verse lets you shine, Jed. It's very bass driven. Now that bass doesn't go away in the second verse, but then that guitar comes in with it, and that's just like my favorite part of that song. I love that part.
That whole like the do 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 do, that whole like little
running
part,
like that's
it's such a fun riff.
Yeah, it was. It sounded. It's fantastic, and it sounded almost like you were having fun. It sounded, like I always compare it to like the Queen, the movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, where he said, "Okay, now play the song Rock and Roll," and he goes, "I just did." He goes, "But play it like you mean it."
Yeah.
That's what that riff I thought of when I heard that. It was like he played it like he meant it. You were like into it. There was not like 17,000 takes. It was just like you went there, hit it, and that was it.
There was a few takes.
Yeah, well,
that song really does take you kind of on a roller coaster ride, because it just like kicks in and then it kind of goes and then it picks back up and then you just groove for a minute. And then, like, with the bridge, it's kind of like, okay, you're just cruising. But at the very end, when that piano comes in, it's like you wind back down. So it is really like a roller coaster ride. Honestly, that one is the way I picture it in my brain when it's like if I could see, no, seriously, if I could see like sound waves, like a roller coaster, that's what I would see, like for real. Like,
now
it makes sense.
For the bass, did you write the bass for the song, or was it written into it and you just played it?
I mean, honestly, most of it, I'm not going to sit here and try to say anything special on this one. There wasn't really any room for anything crazy on it. So I basically just went into it as like the guitar part's there. I follow the guitar for most of the song,
Yeah.
There wasn't any, it's pretty much I'm a less is more type of person. If you listen to something like Leave a Light On, where I actually played around with the bass a little bit more, it called for more of that. With this song, it's a groove song. It didn't call for me to do any kind of stuff. And I'm not a technical player anyways. So I'm just going to groove with what's going on. And if it sounds good, it sounds good. If there's something extra I can put in it, sounds good, I'll keep it. If not, I'll play something simple.
Yeah. No, I get that. But it worked. It worked. It's not like, but like I said, it sounded perfect for, what it was. And, I enjoyed the whole thing. I really did. I listened to it and watched it like 5 times before we came on today. And so I was like, this is really kind of, I'm really kind of getting it, because I wanted to get the whole,
Fireflies, Leave a Light On. I might be missing one, but everything after Rapture, she's directed. We did Down and Out, but that was like a lyric video, so it wasn't, there wasn't much to that one. But with Brand New Me, I even called her and I was like, hey, because she helps me with all my outfits. That's what she does. Like, that's why, like we bring her along for everything. And I'm like, I need your help. All right, so at this time, which one do you think I need to wear? To go with, like, whatever the sun was doing at the time. So we put some thought into that. And so she rode every location with us, and I changed in the van every time. So we brought our band van, and so it's plenty of room in there. But
and tinted windows.
And tinted windows, but she had to walk behind him and guide him like through every single scene so he wouldn't fall, and she had to like keep him steady. So like so we needed her more than we thought we did. We're like, yeah. So this next one, like this next video, I'm like, we need you for this too. And she just had a baby. So this video is actually supposed to be out like before Brand New Me, but all that happened and I needed her so much for this one. I'm like, we'll wait.
Okay, thank you.
Like, I'm like, you're worth the wait. So in October, we're going to start filming for that one. But that one's been a long time coming. And Brand New, maybe we've kind of had it in our pocket for about 2 years, I guess.
something like that.
And it just needed the right time to do it. And then, the time finally crept up and I was like, my birthday's coming up. I was like, that'd be a great time. Cause you kind of do sometimes feel like a brand new me, So it was like kind of good time to release it. So I was like, it's my birthday. I do what I want. We're releasing this song.
Exactly.
I used to get a brand new cane or something. I'm getting old. I can just get brand new canes every birthday.
I know.
Same.
Exactly. You
Same.
do those, like something's different,
Yeah. I'll be 56 in December, so yeah.
You do not look 56.
No, I was gonna say
Well, thank you, bud. Yeah, I'm 56 in December. 2 grown children, 2 grandsons.
I would have
nice.
never known.
It's because rock and roll keeps us young.
I was thinking you were like
I don't know.
more
I'm
my
43,
age.
and look at this.
Well, just look at a picture of Sammy
blame her.
Hagar and look at a picture of Bill Clinton and know that those two are the exact same age.
This is true.
I
get that.
mean,
Yeah.
hey, it's just a number.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
It's
I didn't wake up with aches and pains from the army, but I'm still doing this. I don't have to stop this anytime.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Maturity is just knowing when to be mature.
Do what?
Maturity is knowing when to be mature.
Oh, okay.
And I'm 43 years old. I'm still playing in a band. I'm still getting up on stage whenever we can. I may feel it afterwards, but I ain't feeling no pain when I'm up there.
No, you don't. When you're out.
The only pain I have is hearing her in my ears all night.
Well, my daughter put it perfectly last week. Hanging out with me is like being in a daycare with alcohol and power tools.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I would say, people say act your age. I think, I don't know. I've never been this age. I don't know how to act it.
Exactly.
I know sometimes I'm like, what's that like?
That Blink 182 song. What's my age again?
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
That's exactly what it feels like.
All right, Allison, I got to ask you, because I'll never forget the video. I'll never forget it. You and your husband doing the tortilla challenge.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. I was dying.
Wait, they did what?
It's like neither one of you could hold a straight face to even start.
He hit me pretty hard, too. Look, he did. And my mom was filming. I'm like, we're fixing to do this. Ha, 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 ha. And she's like, okay. And she's like cackling the whole time. Like, if you listen to that video, you can just hear her.
Her mom's awesome.
And then Mesa, my dog that's ringing this bell, I need to let him out. He keeps ringing this bell because he wants to go out. We trained him to ring the bell, so he just does it. But he was in the middle of the tortilla challenge, and he's trying to eat the pieces that are breaking off. And I'm like, and he's like feeding them to him. I'm like, stop, you're feeding him our tortillas, And like, but it was funny. It was like one of those things. I was like, you needed that laugh. Everybody needed that laugh.
Yeah, it was so funny. I couldn't stop. I watched it. I'm like, oh my God, they can't even get it going. And the dog's running around.
Oh,
I just know like that. I think it was like the third, maybe the third. I don't know, maybe the second time he smacked me with that thing. I was sort of choking on the water, and I was like, okay, it's done. It was done.
The one chip challenge.
Good time. Yeah, tortilla challenge.
Yeah, I tried that a
like,
couple different times, and I wanted to do it this year, but I found out someone ruined it for us.
The one chip challenge, not the tortilla, the one chip.
Oh, I never did the one chip challenge. I can't handle that. So
it's tempting for me because I like spicy.
Yeah,
it's tempting,
but Yeah, tortilla. You're just smacking each other in the face and seeing who loses it first.
Yeah.
You can ask Allison. I like the spicy stuff anyway. So
Yeah, he would probably be good with that. I would not. It would not be
I
good.
like spicy, but I don't like overly spicy. I don't like the whole.
Yeah.
I want to sweat.
You want to sweat?
I like to sweat. If I can feel it here, I'm a happy man.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No.
There's no way.
Is that?
What is that?
He's got
Ooh.
one.
Chicken noodle.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Fucking noodle.
Wow. There you go.
He laughed at me
I
and oh, sorry. Go.
I was warned about that. I said, I'm going to do it anyway.
You let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be on YouTube.
'Cause I will never be doing that. But
Well,
I
guys,
will
I hate
watch
to
it.
cut it short. I gotta get back to work.
All right, buddy.
I will leave y'all with Allison. I
Hey.
apologize.
Sorry.
We appreciate you hanging out with us, Jed. Can't wait to hear
Well,
more, man.
Well, I thank y'all for having me on. Yeah, well, y'all have a good day.
All right,
You too,
Jen. See
brother.
you later, buddy.
Now, if I can remember how to get. Oh, there it is.
So, what was the inspiration for Brand New Me?
Like as I said before, like like I said, you saw it as what you saw it for, but like I don't know, like
Oh, bro.
we really all do have our struggles, and it's hard enough to like move past it, but like I really did go through like a spell where I was just like really just beating myself up bad for things. It's just just things in general, and like I had to do a lot of self-reflection and really like kind of wake myself up, and I was like, I don't want to be like this anymore, and I don't want to hold myself a grudge toward myself. I was like, because that's not healthy for anybody.
Right.
And like people can kind of pick up on that when you're not happy about yourself, however way they, you go about it. Everybody's different the way they express that. But, it comes to a point where people can actually, they can tell you are an unhappy person. And I just didn't want to, I didn't want to be like that anymore. I thought, like a lot of people, they watch what I do. They look up to me. And I mean, that's just, as a musician and, as a teacher, I'm not a, I have a job. I'm a broke musician. I have, I'm like, I don't care. I'll say it. I'm not a rock star. I have a job, and like they look up to me, and I need to come, to work every day, put on a happy face, and be somebody they can believe in and look up to. And that's with with the music too. You express your unhappiness to that music, but that doesn't mean you have to keep living that way.
Right.
Right.
So that was just the best way I can channel that what I was going through when I was writing that. And the funny thing about it was when I first wrote it, it changed as we went through, but at first Brand New Me was still it still was about me not liking myself. But I was like, nope, we got to change this. We got to change this, and we did. And now I feel like it's inspirational now, and anybody can relate to it. And I've actually felt like I've helped somebody if they listen to it, and they maybe they were going through what I was going through, and maybe that can help them see that you're not perfect. You're gonna mess up, but don't just do something about it. Don't keep holding on to that.
Right. And in my book,
there's
you
more
guys,
to life.
in my book, you guys are rock stars. My definition of being a rock star is doing what you want and doing it your way.
Well, there you go. I mean, like I said, and it's everybody sees everybody differently. And I've never wanted to be that put me on a pedestal kind of person. I want to write music to help people. And that's why I feel like I'm here. And I feel like I almost say I have like two ministries. I have my teaching and I have my music, and I've got to help people. And if I got to write a sappy love song, if I got to write an angry song, if I got to write with something to get you through song, that's what I got to do to help somebody get through. That's what I feel like I'm here for. So.
Right on.
Yeah. And I tell everybody, when I started Asgard, it was to help the Chicago bands, and then all of a sudden it blew up, and I got bands all over, and
Yeah.
I've had a great life. I've had a great life. I had great parents. I spent time in the Army. I have two great kids, and it's my turn to give back now. And I'm hopefully being able, through Chris and through Stacy and others that have come and gone, that we've helped people, and that's
Right.
That's why I'm here now. You know, I'm not here to be, I always tell everybody, I'm just a DJ. I own the station, I pay the bills, but I'm just a DJ. I'm up here talking stupid, because I have no talent whatsoever. Nothing. I can't play an instrument and I can't sing for nothing. So my
Hell,
thing
I'm
is
not
bull.
even a DJ. I'm just a guy that likes to listen to music.
Hey, but I will say being a DJ does it takes some talent because and like when I'm like this is kind of funny. This is like me going like way back to childhood. But I wanted to be a DJ when I was like 10. And do you guys remember the little Talk Boy Walkmans? You know, they had them like Home Alone.
Yes.
So I had one of those, and me and my cousin would go up in our hot attic, like my grandparents' hot attic, and we'd go up there and act like we were on a radio station. And what we do, we'd have another CD player or whatever tape player, and then we'd have the Talk Boy, and we'd be like, "Coming live from whatever, da 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 da. This is Ian and Allison, da da da," and we'd be like, "You're listening to whatever our radio station was," and then we'd like hit the song, and be like, "This is." I don't know, Spice Girls, wannabe, I don't know. And then we'd play it, and then we'd go back and listen to ourselves. And it was like,
Oh
I
my
was like, I
God.
cannot believe it. And it was like 100 degrees in this attic, but it was like the only way we could like do that with not anybody making fun of us. Like up there doing that. But I just think about that. I was like, I think a part of me really did want to be a DJ at one time.
That's awesome. That is really
Hey,
Wait, if I could just find one of those tapes from the past, oh my gosh! Like,
if there's ever a part of you that still wants to be a DJ, I got a spot on Saturday afternoons for
hey,
you.
you never know. You never know.
hey, we
You
got
never
spots.
know.
We're always
So,
looking for DJs,
like
people that want to help independent bands.
Hey, let me think into that. Let me get some stuff slowed down at work. Get in my groove, and I'll come back to you on that one.
You said you're a teacher, right?
Yeah.
And school's just getting ready to start. So yeah, you got I know there's a lot going on because
I've got to let this dog out. Do you hear this bell? I know y'all hear the bell, right?
Yeah, go let your dog out.
No, go let him out.
I don't know if he's driving me more crazy or not. I gotta let him out. Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's
All right, all good now. I swear, every time I do an interview, he either does that for attention or he barks uncontrollably. It's one or the other. So I'll take the bell instead of the bark. But yeah, as you were saying, once things like calm down and I kind of get my head on straight because it's just a lot right now, just learning new things. It's just like anything when you start back if you haven't done it in a while.
so what grade do you teach?
So I'm a STEM teacher and I teach third and fourth. So we do like coding with robots and things like that. And I'm still learning too, because this is like my second year doing STEM. It was STEAM, but we're calling it STEM now. But this is like my 16th year. I taught fourth grade my first year, then I taught first and second, and then third, and then STEM the last 2 years. So, and I really enjoy it because I get to see the whole school and not just like one class or two classes. I just kind of felt like I was like a teacher who I needed to see everybody. I just felt like I guess I had more love to give. I don't know, but the best way I can describe it.
Sometimes I think it's better to work with kids on an elementary level because I know me as a teenager and I didn't want to deal with me.
No, I'm like
for high school here for 5 years, and oh my word,
I refused to go up past fourth. I was like, I'm certified for K through sixth grade, but I'm like, no. And the funny thing was, the first year I taught, I refused to never go back to fourth grade. I was like, because it was a rough first year, it was rough, and now I love it. So it's like it just shows you how you change, because now I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if I would want to go back and teach those 5 and 6 year olds, like I don't know if I'd want to do that, but these kids they know enough and they can help themselves if they're still willing to learn. So it's just a really good age.
No, give me the kindergartners. We're gonna get some crayons, some blocks, and then take a nap.
Hey, but kindergarten's a lot more technical now. It's a lot more technical than it used to be. Yeah, it's crazy. And another really crazy thing is like So I have like a lot of kids that get on our YouTube and they'll comment on the band, videos and stuff. And it's a kid because they'll just like leave their name. They'll say, "Hey, it's so and so," and like, so I've had like kids come to like our shows. It's really weird. And then I had like 3 kids the past year end up getting a Roses Unread shirt and wearing it to school.
Oh.
So I'm walking and I pass them and they're like, and I'm like mouth dropped, And then we had a talent show. One of them wore the Roses Unread shirt in the talent show. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I can be like, you know what, you guys, y'all can do anything you set your mind to. Look at me. Like I'm teaching and I'm in a rock band. You can do whatever your heart desires, So like I hope that when they they see that and like at least they can say, okay, well Miss Allison was doing all this, I can too. That's what I want them to do. You can do anything.
Yeah.
And that's for everybody, anybody. If you put your mind and heart to it, you can do whatever.
I just saw a video on YouTube about a woman who just had life-saving surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And she got this letter afterwards. She's an old grade school teacher. And she had this kid who was just terrible. And she got this letter afterwards. And it said, you were the only person that believed in me. You were the only person that, talked to me. And nobody, you didn't shut me out, all this other stuff, blah, 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 crying and crying and crying. Turns out it was her surgeon.
Wow.
He was facing this way, talking to her daughter, and he's sitting in a chair behind her, still masked up from, just being done with her surgery.
Yeah.
And he said, I am very proud to say that I am the one that did your life-saving surgery. Your surgery's cost is taken care of. You don't have to worry about it because you saw something in me nobody else saw. And she turned around. It was amazing. It was just, that's like you said, you tell these kids, you do what it's endless. What you can do is endless.
See, and I'm like a huge football fan. Like college, I'd say college. Like I really get into college football. John really he likes football, but he honestly really could care less. Like I'm when I'm the football person, but like my family grew up and we grew up watching Tennessee football, and my grandfather played for the Vols in college. So it's like, it was just embedded in me. And like I just grew up as a Tennessee ball fan. I still am, but I don't know if you guys follow Tennessee, but I don't know if you know a player named Joshua Dobbs. He's been traded a lot in the NFL. He's been like on 8 teams, but his study in college was aerospace dynamics, and so he uses a lot of that like when he plays, like the way the dynamic of how like I guess like things in space move. He does it the same with his football, and he connects them. But he's like working with NASA, and he's a pro football player.
Awesome.
And I tell my kids, I'm like, I pull up videos of him. I'm like, is he the best football player? No. But this kid's doing both, man. He is a pro football player. Yeah, he's been traded 8 times, but he's still a pro football player. And he's like helping NASA. I'm like, guys, look at this. And we're like watching him, do his, like, I'm pulling up a YouTube video about him talking about NASA and how, it's football. And I have all these boys who are like, love football, and they're seeing this guy. And I'm like, y'all, this is what you want to be. You want to be this. You can do this, and it kind of like lit a fire behind them. And I remember like a few weeks later, the principal was talking about something about, believing in yourself. And then they brought up, they're like, yeah, like Miss Allison talked to us about Joshua Dobbs. And I was like, so it's like, it's like one of those things. And they remembered that because I related it to football, and I'm a STEM teacher. So I'm talking about NASA, and so it's like, and I just, it's like little things like that. I feel like, they're going to remember in the long run. And
oh yeah, they will. Absolutely.
It's so like
sponge age.
Do what?
Yeah.
You got them at the sponge age.
Oh yeah, I've got them at the sponge age, and like I said, they think I'm cool because I'm in a band, but they respect me too. Like they come in there and we get the job done. That's just like we do really good. It's like it's just fun, and like they learn, and they're like learning how to be a team because you know, that age, it's like they don't know how to really work together. You know, we're stuck on our phones all the time. So, you know, it's like communication. I mean, we're just as bad, you know, we can't just say it's them, you know, everybody's bad about it. So it's like, you know, we got to get them connecting and talking and building like connections and stuff. So.
Indiana has a new law. Kids K through 12th grade can no longer have their phones in school.
Yeah, I feel like eventually that might happen with us. It hasn't yet, but I would love that if that happened.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And personally, because I do this quite often, more often than I should, I call it disconnecting and going back to the 80s, and I'll just turn my phone off.
And I have to do it too. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna pick on my phone for an hour. I'm really gonna try. And I did that the other day, and I was like, man, feels pretty good, you know, just to clear your brain and not have all that outside stuff. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna try to do this more often. I'm kind of like try to make a pact with myself where I'm not gonna get on it as much. Like I know I'm gonna get on it, but I'm gonna be like, you're limited, you know, just I've got to. For my personal well-being, I've got to, because there's just a lot of negativity right now going on. So you know,
but you know,
you guys see it.
we see it. We don't talk about it though.
We don't talk about Bruno, but we see it.
Yeah.
But we see Bruno, but we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
Sorry, the school, you know, all the kids move. It's just, you know, it's like it's embedded.
No, hey, well, you know what? When my kids grew up, you know, I had all those kid shows, you know, when they were growing up, late 90s, early 2000s, and then now my grandkids, and I can still sing every song from Moana.
Oh, like they did like a Beauty and the Beast play, and like a lot of the kids, you know, they didn't know all those words because they're, you know, they're babies, and you know, we were exposed to it. You know, it's kind of ancient to them, I guess, unless they sing like the actual real one, I guess. But they didn't know any of the songs, and I'm over there singing along with Beauty and the Beast, and they're looking at me like, "You crazy, Miss Alice?" And I'm like, "You know, like." I'm like, no, you're crazy. You need to get on board, you know.
Hey, that ain't crazy. I got a full-on Beast costume, and I just watched Beauty and the Beast the original animated, not the remake, but the original. I rewatched it the other night.
Those classics are just so good. It's like they're just so good, and you just I know not to get off on a tangent, but do you guys not love Fox and the Hound?
Oh my God!
My name is Todd. I'm a fox. I'm Copper.
Like that movie. Oh my gosh! Like I can't watch Bambi. I really can't. But like I can barely get through Fox and the Hound. But it's such a good movie. It's like you just
These kids nowadays need safe spaces and whatnot. They need to go sit down and watch Fox and the Hound or Bambi
I'm serious.
or Land Before Time.
But just like the whole friendship making skills, like I was talking about connections and stuff. Fox and the Hound, man. You know, like just
yep.
Man, just don't make them like they used to.
No, because everybody's so touchy now.
I just don't. I mean, I don't know.
Because I watched the remake of Pete's Dragon, and then I had to bust out the original and watch it twice just to get my childhood back.
Oh.
It's like it shouldn't be like that, you know. But at least we have those memories of when we first watched them and they came out, and like nobody can take that from us. So
Yep.
That's how I see it.
When I grew up, every Easter in the 70s and probably good part of the 80s, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was on.
Mm-hmm.
My mother's favorite actor of all time is Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
And, she would make me sit there and watch it with her on Easter Sunday. I had to watch Willy Wonka. And then like they came out with the new one and it was just horrid. It was so bad. Johnny Depp was so bad in that.
As much as I love Johnny Depp, I've never seen
I know, me too.
It was so bad.
Yeah, I wasn't really digging it. I tried to watch it, like you said, and I was like, I don't know. It just didn't. I don't know, something about it. I don't know, but like everything else he does is pretty good. So you know, I guess you gotta have in case you gotta have a miss in every 10 good movies or something. You gotta have one that's
You
like,
gotta have yeah, everybody. I mean, they stay around long enough in the industry. You're gonna have one. Just like
Everybody has that one flop.
just like
Yeah.
music. It's just like
yeah,
music.
Kiss had that one. Kiss, Heaven's on
Yeah.
Fire. Not a great video, not a great album.
Mhm.
That's one of their, what was the other one? I Was Made for Loving You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, bad video.
It's like how everybody hates on Saint Anger.
Yeah.
That's like that's what it's like though.
But yeah.
Well,
For real.
she went there. She went there. Metallica
Yeah.
ended when Cliff Burton died.
Gosh.
And that's
Everybody
my
I talk
honest to God
no,
opinion.
no, Saint Anger, I'm like, you know, but that's
Hey,
like the running joke, that's.
Yeah.
I love Metallica though. I got to see them actually, and it was freaking amazing.
I saw
Never
them.
thought I'd see them, but I did.
I saw them open up for Ozzy Osbourne in 1986.
Oh, that's. I think we saw him in Georgia, and I think Asking Alexandria was opening for him. I think.
Yeah,
But I feel like there was another band too, but I can't remember who it was.
yeah, they opened for Ozzy.
That's awesome.
It was fantastic. It was Ride the Lightning tour.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. I think it was pretty sure it was 86. Pretty sure because
Yeah.
87 I graduated and left for the army right away. So I'm pretty sure it was 86 that when I saw them.
When I saw them, they were still touring for the Black Album, so it was still
Metallica.
It was still Metallica.
Yeah.
So, 86, you saw them the year I was born. But I still feel like I'm old, but you saw them the year I was born.
Allison, you just made me feel old.
Well, I'm like, I feel like I am, but I mean, like I said, it's just a number. Like I would never, like I said, when you said how old you, I was like, what? Like you're not that. No, but it's just a number.
Yeah,
That's funny though.
People at work were talking about the one lady was talking about going to her 20-year high school anniversary, and I thought about it. I'm like, oh my God, I've been out of high school for 37 years. That's more
Mine's
years
coming up.
to work with.
It just doesn't seem like, because it's weird because I graduated high school and pretty much we formed Roses Unread in 07, so we've been together that long. I mean, not the same lineup. We've had multiple member changes, but like we've had this since 2019. You to think been through some stuff.
Yeah, it long. I don't even remember. I know there's audio somewhere on it. But yeah, we talked years and years ago, and I thought, we stayed friends on Facebook, but I thought you guys were done for a while. I didn't, because I didn't hear a lot from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'd see you and your husband doing videos and stuff, and I didn't think you guys were coming back. And then I started seeing more and more from you, and I'm like, okay, cool. So, they're back, and they're starting up. So I'm glad you guys. I love your music. I always have since I thank you guys.
The same guy that introduced me to Jim turned me on to Roses Unread.
Yeah, I mean,
look, I'm telling you, like I said, it's been like, oh my gosh, like I'm trying to remember when we came on. I feel like it might have been the Silver Lining.
Maybe it might.
Maybe I feel like it might have been the Silver Lining. Now that I'm thinking back, and I thought maybe like we came and did something for like a single, but maybe you guys just played the single and we didn't like talk. But
I don't know.
I can't remember. But it might have been the Silver Lining, unless it was when Rapture came out. When we had the Rapture EP.
I'll have to all my interviews and stuff and see.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're marked. I have so many that I'm on my 6th laptop and my third desktop computer since I started this 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Because it just, back then they didn't have.
Probably So you probably got so much footage. But if you run across it and you figure out what album it was, I'd like to know because I was trying to think. I was like, it's either got to be. I want to say it was Silver Lining though, but I could be wrong. But
I think
that was
right.
16, I think.
So let's go back to the beginning of Roses Unread. Let's go all the way back and um let people know how you guys got started with it, and where did the name come from? Was it you and your husband's idea to do this? What was the whole concept behind you doing this band?
So I was in a band before this one, and John was in another band, and he had to part ways from that band. But in the process, we became friends, and we'd started dating, and like never really thought we'd be in a band together because I met him through another band. Well, it's basically like my band split, he had to leave, and we were like, okay, what do we do now? So we kind of crumpled up the pieces and tried to, build something from what we had. And, John was a bass player at first. He was a bass player in his band. And my guitar player stepped down. It was like kind of the transition period. And he stepped down. I was like, well, I don't have a guitar player now. What am I going to do? And John's like, well, I'll play guitar. And I'm like, you can't play guitar. You play bass, And I'm like, he's like, no, I'm really gonna do this. And I'm like, all right, do it then. And like it was like a few months later, and he was like playing this thing, and I was like, all right, I see you doing it. But that's like him. Anything he puts his mind to, he's gonna do it. And he's gonna do it freaking good. Like that's him. I wish I was like that. I'm not, but that's what he does. And he doesn't think he's the best at it, but I'm like, you put your brain to it, you're gonna be really good at this. And just like the video stuff, and so he jumped in and did that, and we had more member changes. It was like just constant, just because I don't know, it just didn't work what we were doing. It wasn't maybe some of it was personality problems, or it's just some of it was just like just musically weren't jiving, just things like that in general, or like life changes, just things like that. And it was just like an in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And like we were just we have one album, and we'd mold to what the guys at the time of the band were doing. We had we were trying to fit that mold with everybody, so everything synced up. We had to learn each other. Well, then like somebody leave, I had to have a new person. Well, it kind of changed the vibe a little bit more, changed the sound a little bit more, and we couldn't really just stay consistent on what we wanted. And finally, we got those Rapture songs going, and our drummer at the time left, and we're like, what are we gonna do? And that's I forget where Jed comes in. I always jump to the drummer part. But yeah, Jed jumped in, I guess, around 2006, 15, 16. He stayed with us for about that long, I'd say. And then lost like 2 drummers. And then when we had Rapture, we didn't have a drummer. Drummer was driving like 3 hours to get to practice. And he's like, I can't do it anymore. So I was like, well, here we go, because drummers were so hard to find. I'm like, this is it. We're done. I don't know. We have thrown in the towel. And all of a sudden, I thought about Rocky. Rocky played in a band called Persevere, and we played tons of shows with them. Jed's band Shy before Roses Unread. We played with his band a bunch. So when his band split, that's when we added Jed. And so I was like, drummers. And I thought of Rocky, and I was like, he ain't gonna want to play with us. I was just, being the negative Nancy. And I was like, he ain't gonna want to play with us, but you can try. That was me being all about myself again. I ain't gonna play with us. And he'd been, trying to, him Persevere hadn't been really doing anything. And he was like, I'm ready to go back into it. And him and John actually knew each other. They lived in Arkansas. They were like buddies, like before everything, it was weird. And they knew each other they didn't even go to the same high school, but they were in like neighboring towns, and they knew each other through other people. And so we played in Persevere together and with them, and that fell apart, like I said. And we called him up one day, and we're like, hey, dude, we got these songs. Our drummer just left. What do you think about coming to, playing? We'll send you the songs. And he texts us back, and he was like, I'm really digging these new songs. That's when we had like Rapture and Line to Yourself, Be No One, like that whole mix. And he was like, I'm really digging this stuff. So he came out and jammed with us, and it just worked. And it's kind of cool though that we knew both of them, Jed and Rocky, through other bands that we played with like religiously. Like we played with them like numerous times, and then it's just that we had all ended up together again. So it was really cool that worked out.
Okay, I remember Persevere.
Yeah. I mean, they were playing. They played with Shinedown at one point. They did like a lot of cool things, and just like I said, life happens, people change, and then it devastated him because like they did a lot of a lot of cool stuff, like really cool stuff, and and then
that.
just yeah, like he said he was just tired of just sitting at the house. He's like, what the hell? Let me come do it, and it worked out. It worked, and now we're like brother and sister, all fighting like brother and sister, loving each other like brother. It's like a brother sister, like me and Jed and Rocky are like brother and sister. It's like
Well,
and
yeah,
it being in a room with us, you can tell.
well,
You could probably tell from me.
yeah, he was blaming you for everything. So
Exactly. So, have you seen the TikTok we made about when we got our shit stolen?
no.
Okay, so we played a show in Indianapolis last year and played a great show. It was our first time in Indianapolis. We spent the night, not the best motel. I think somebody followed us. Anyway, our trailer got broken into the middle of the night. And they stole like John's amp. You hear him barking. He does it every time. They stole his amp. I think Jed's amp. It left like the cabs and stuff, and then they stole my microphone and some other stuff. All our in ears. So we had to go to like Sweetwater that day and like get everything else. Insurance helped, but I'm so glad we had that. But we had to do something though. We're like, we got 2 more shows. We got to be in like Ohio, and I think it was like one other. It was like Ohio and another state. Like we gotta get here. So we're like, what do we want to do? Well, we go to Sweetwater. We get all new equipment. And anyway, like on the way back, I'm like asking, oh, what was your favorite part of this weekend? I'm just vlogging or whatever. And I'm like, I got this dog, y'all. Hang on a minute. And I just knocked the phone over. So I can't deal with it, y'all. I can't deal with it. Come on in. I know you got to be the star of the show all the time. Okay. I thought I lost myself. Anyway, can y'all tell me what I was saying?
Oh, you were
What
blogging.
was your favorite part of the weekend?
Yes, thank you. That I'm telling you, he totally messed me up. I couldn't even concentrate what I was saying. So I was like, all right, everybody, what's your favorite part of this weekend? And Rocky's like, when our shit got stolen and they stole your mic, I didn't think I'd hear you sing anymore. And I'm like, Rocky, it's worth going on the TikTok and find it. And he's eating gummy bears the whole time and smirking as he says it. He's like, when our shit got stolen, they took your mic. I didn't have to hear you sing anymore. And he's just like, like laughing at himself, And like the whole band loses it. So if you want to go down the rabbit hole with TikTok and find that one,
I might have to look that one up there.
it's pretty fun. And like we all just bust out laughing. It's like it was one of those things I was like, really? But it like but we all needed that laugh. And that's kind of the stuff that kind of gets us through is just like the comic relief, and just comments like that in general, whether you love them or hate them, they get you through because that was a tough time. So
Here's one of my fat cats.
well, at least that one's being quiet, unlike mine.
Yeah, well, my dog was barking earlier. There's kids riding their bikes down the street. But he's in a whole other room, so I'm in my office, so you can't really hear him. But he usually
wouldn't that be something? They both barking at each other through the audio.
So, do we have any upcoming shows?
Yes, September 18th. This is the only one we have so far. Because we kind of like when trying to get everything, but with the new song and all that, getting all this out and stuff, and we're still writing too. So we've got that in September 18th at Bone Stock in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. It's a big festival they put on, but they haven't put it on in like a few years because I really don't exactly know why, but they just stopped doing it. And it was like one of those cool things where it's like got to play one year and we're like, oh, we hope we get to do this every year, and they just stopped it. And I was just just devastated. I was like, no, they took Bone Stock away. Well, they came back this year with it. And the guys who does the radio station, Chris Berger, I text him immediately and I was like, what do we got to do to be on Bone Stock? Because, I want to, and he was like, oh, y'all want on, cool, whatever, and we're on. But, it was just a cool thing, kind of was like nostalgic that they were bringing it back. So I'm really, really excited about that one. The last time we played that show, our drummer at the time, his wife went into labor and about had the baby at Bone Stock. And she was wanting to go to the hospital in Jackson, Tennessee, which is like almost 3-4 hours away from Poplar Bluff. And she's like, I'm going to Jackson to have this baby. So I just remember there was a lot of people, and like they bombarded her at the merch booth because I'm trying to get off stage. I'm trying to get back to the tent. She's the only one back there. I don't know why she was the only one back there. I guess that's just how it worked at the time. We had somebody taking pictures, and we had like somebody else doing something. So she was just chilling under the tent by herself, trying to keep cool. Well, all these people swarmed to her, and I'm like, oh, Molly, I'm thinking I can see them going to the merch booth while I'm on stage as I'm trying to get off. I'm like, oh God, Molly, I'm like, I'm trying to get to you. People start talking to me. And I'm trying to get to her. I'm trying to get to her. Trying to get to her. I'm like, just follow me at this point. Let's just come on. I got to get to this merch booth. And as soon as I got there, she's like, "Oh, I'm not feeling so good." I'm like, "Well, sit down. Let me take charge for a minute." And then my mom came over to help, and so we just needed all hands on deck at that point. And she started, having some pains. Well, I don't know what happened. I think she might have felt better slightly. So we went off and we went to go see another band we wanted to support for a second on the other stage. And then we get a call like, "You got to come now." And we're like, "What?" They're like, "We think Molly's water just broke." And we're like, "Oh no." So we go all the way and go back to her, and Caveman, our drummer. This story is actually on YouTube when they're both talking about it. But like Caveman was a medic. We called him Caveman. His name was Justin. Anyway, and because you're probably thinking Caveman, but he loaded her up, and he's like, "All right, we got to get going." My dad's pulling the trailer in the van. We're going like 100, trying to get from Poplar Bluff to Jackson, and her water didn't exactly break. It's like, I don't even know. I never had babies, so I don't know. Anyway, but there was something that happened before that where she thought her water broke, and then we got to the actual hospital, and we pulled in the driveway, and her water broke. Talking about having to clean the van out. But we got her in, and she had a baby, but it was like 4 hours of just crazy, just trying to make it. And I just like, that's like one thing I'll never forget. So hopefully this bone stock experience will be much better.
When you said that, my first thought was 2 years ago, a woman was 39 weeks pregnant in Brazil, went to a Metallica concert in Brazil, and went into labor, like right in the middle of the very first song. As they opened the show, this woman started going into
Wow.
labor.
Wow.
So they actually took her backstage, and she gave birth backstage at a Metallica show.
She named the baby James.
I don't know what the kid's name was, but I thought that was cool as hell.
That is crazy though. That is pretty good. I thought he was gonna be born at that rock show. I was like, oh my gosh, like, and I mean, it was just one of those things. It was a little traumatic, but we got through it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what do you guys got other than that you got going right now? You guys are still writing. You guys are gonna.
Yeah, trying to write some new stuff, and like my main thing. Well, main thing is getting our set ready for Bone Stock, because we usually play like 45 minutes, but they want an hour. So we're gonna bring like back an old song. We got the new one. We got a brand new one that we haven't done anything. That's the one that's going to be the music video that we're preparing for in October. So that video is going to take 4 days, so like 2 weekends. So that's really like the big thing, because we're going to try to go all out on this one. But like I said, I'm not going to be the star of the show. I'm happy about that. I'm like, y'all's time. It's y'all's turn.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good though. It
sounds like
I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's gonna be good.
And you're doing that in October, right?
Yes. So hopefully, I don't know how much editing that will be, because John won't be videoing that one, or he'll be in it, but it might take a few months on this one. Like it's one of those, like, that's why we've waited so long. I said it was supposed to be done before Brand New Me. Just stuff happened, and I was like, nope, we can't rush this one. It's got to be a certain way, and if it takes another year to get it done, then we're gonna wait to get it done, because it's got to be done a certain way. So it's one of those things, you gotta do it right. Go, what's it? Go, or go home.
Go
Tired
home, yeah.
brain. Thank you. Yeah. But so it's gonna be exciting though. I really love that song. It's in our set now. It's called Murder She Wrote Me, and we've already got like the tracks and everything. So we just got to get the video, and then we'll release that one. I'm hoping maybe by like Christmas or something. Hopefully.
Okay.
That's the plan anyway.
We'll be waiting for the release date of the song.
Yeah, of course I'll let you guys know if you want, have me on again. I'll come talk about that one, and Because
Absolutely.
you'll probably have with this one, if it's done how we want it, you know, and we do it all the right ways, you're gonna be like, yes, let's talk about this one. So it's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
one of those. So
Sounds good.
all right, yeah, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh,
We appreciate you joining us.
We'll
really?
definitely do it again. Like I said, when we get this one out and going, I'd love to be back.
Oh, absolutely. We'll have you back. Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. When you get it done, just,
Yeah,
drop an email and say, hey, I'm ready. We'll be like, okay, so are we.
yeah, for sure, guys, for sure.
All right, Chronic.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a blast hanging out today. Allison from Roses Unread joining us, talented vocalist. Kick-ass new song, kick-ass new video. Check it out wherever you stream your videos. And
Anywhere.
Allison, where can we find you on social media?
So if you just type in Roses Unread, that'll bring you to our Facebook. But make sure you do UNREAD, like a book, not like the color. A lot of people put RED and can't find it. And I'm like, no, you didn't spell it right. But rosesunreadofficial.com, that's like the main hub, will take you to everything. But Spotify, Apple Music, just type us in. YouTube, same thing, will come up. So just spell it right.
And if you type in Roses Unread, the new video is the first one up on the list.
So, yep. Yeah, because every time I go to just to check it, because I'm a musician,